Hey there, Dragon Ball Infinity. I'm Luke, your roleplay admin, and this is a roleplay review for Partnership Renewed by Viktor and Atheris. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, this is an interesting log. Like I've said in one of the previous roleplay reviews, it's kind of it's kind of interesting that we have so many like uh, criminal characters that either come from a criminal background, characters who are either or involved with criminal activity right now. Um, Between Maxed, Cyber, Fade, Victor, and Atheris, and that's at least five just right off the bat. And as we speak, I think Rakam is starting up Leos again, who's another kind of criminal character, has a background in jails and detention areas and things like that. So for some reason, this is the this is the linking point for roleplay at the moment. I don't have an explanation for why everyone is really interested in this all of a sudden, but it's actually a very good thing. It means that as long as we can come up with a specific plot, which I think we have already, and Victor should know about it, what's going on in Hydia and out there in the greater verse. Um, I think that a lot of our characters can all end up together, have a sort of a central, have a lot of things in common, and then, but not only just have things in common, but also be have different motivations and different goals, and use that to further their different ends, which means that we might have groups versus other groups. Atheris and Victor are much more criminal than say Cyber and Maxa. So we could see those sorts of groups eventually coming into contact and conflict with each other as they pursue their different versions of the criminal underworld. Um, as for the log itself, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. Um, it's we kind of get a glimpse into these two characters. Just a very small, brief glimpse, though. Victor seems to be more of the impulsive, strong arm kind of character. I think Atheris even goes so far as to mention that while they were in prison and he was in a fight with somebody, he actually let the guy beat the hell out of him before he even started fighting back, just because it made it more interesting. Um, and in this log, Victor stops a guy and like really goes to town mentally on him. Just says, you think you're special, you're not special. We're gonna prove that no one is special. Um, and then, Atheris is. I'm not gonna say that he's the brains. He doesn't really do anything to signify himself as such. But he seems to be more calm and more about getting the job done and getting got the job done correctly. But it's hard to say. Atheris didn't really speak a whole lot. Most of what we find out about him actually comes from the just dialogue and like inner thoughts and things like that. So Atheris is a lot more of a mystery to me right now than Victor is. But I mean, we'll eventually get to see where you guys are going. The big thing is finding out what you guys are really after. Right now you're in V-Day City, which should not be the easiest city to rob, guys. V-Day City is basically the biggest metropolis on the planet. With Abingdon destroyed and Hero City destroyed, this is kind of like the major city, V-Day City. Plus, it has the Shield Dome, which like lowers the power level of metahumans, um, as a reference to Lai and Elias. So this is the place where it's going to be the hardest to gain a foothold as a criminal organization, and you guys should be seeing some heavy resistance because, you know, with how crime is in other parts of Earth, I'm I'm going to go ahead and throw out there that I think that V-Day City is where they're going to be fighting the hardest to keep it from turning into another Sector 71 or another Sector 8. Um, but that's up to you guys to sort of figure out. And, I'm not going to step in until I feel that maybe you're doing a little bit injustice. But I would like to see a little bit stronger I'd like to see a pretty strong reaction to this. Plus, it would set up you guys to becoming full-fledged powers within the universe. Because with our new tier setting, you guys are a lot stronger. You can handle some pretty significant threats. A couple police officers aren't really going to matter much in the long run to you guys. You're gonna need some big dudes. You're gonna need some real resistance to what you're doing. Um, like I said though, we kind of need to figure out what these guys are after. Money, just having money is never the end goal. Money is a means to get what you really want, which is, even if it's just like liquor and booze and women and mansions and things like that. And that's the sort of thing we need to see. What they're actually after, and it can be that simple. There's nothing wrong with it being that simple. If they really just want, to have access to a very material life, that's cool. But we need to find out what it is they really want. Or if they're just there for the chaos of it. Like I think Atheris makes mention that they sort of like thrived in the chaos of the prison. That's cool too. But, you know, small petty crime isn't going to satisfy them for long if that's the case. Or maybe they want to expand, I don't know. You guys, this is up to you. This is a cool dynamic though, because you guys are a duo. You're a duo. So you can work together and you can make the plot stronger than most people. Um, because most people usually find an RP partner and then you have to balance each character's different goals, and each character's different paths of development, and then find ways to have time and meet and work between the two of you. But with you guys, since you are a duo from the beginning, that means that your story can be much more cohesive than other stories. That doesn't mean that each one of you shouldn't individually develop, but that just means that you guys working together have a better opportunity to create stronger development, I guess. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, this was a good log. I'm looking forward to see what you guys do next. I'm Luke, and I'll see you guys in the chat.